And the Celtics disappointed as they lose consecutive games for the first time in these playoffs.
The Celtics cold like a cut sandwich, stacked. KJ Late Night, WEEI, thank you so much for hanging out. Ethan, I appreciate you being here.
I don't know if you should be disrespecting cold cut sandwiches like that.
Well, they're not really good for the pores long term. Very tasty, but like the better ones, the better made ones are like the local made ones. I can't say their name because I don't know if they're paying for commercials here, but the local made ones where you don't have to worry about long packing, shipping, and it's come all the way from Salem, Oregon. It had to be shipped and the juices and all. Nah, you buy it from around the corner, you take it home to around the corner. You cut out that preservative middleman. That's the good. Those are the good cut. Those are the good cold cuts. Yeah, if you can see them going zzzz, zzzz, those are the best ones. Especially when you go to the butcher, where like half of it's a restaurant, the other half is a butcher.
Yep.
There's a spot over in Medford. I'm not going to say it by its name because they can always pay for advertising, but oh my gosh. Zzzz, you hear it going on in the back. You're like, oh, give me 2 of those pastrami sandwiches, please.
Half a pound, I'll take it home too.
No, I'll take it all. In fact, I'll take the butcher with me. Can he cut this at home? Does he have a traveling machine? But look, the Celtics got butchered. Butchered. And I mean from a standpoint of what in their repertoire, what in the Celtics repertoire exists that will beat the Golden State Warriors right now. So here's the first argument. I need Jason Tatum to show up. 15, 18 points isn't going to do it. Well, how about 27? It didn't do it. 27, 10, 4 assists. Less turnovers than we've seen in games where they've won. 4. But it's because of the psychological. See, those 4 turnovers feel like you're watching 7 of them because the attention is so much and dependent on thinking that Jason Tatum has to win the NBA Finals for the Celtics. And my argument has been, and I said this on the KJ and Dondero show, excellent show, by the way, Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. to 11. Is this about winning 4 or crowning the next superstar in the NBA? My answer would be, hey, the superstar's banner doesn't go up in the Garden. It's the team that wins 4 in the NBA Finals. And so if you win an NBA Finals game as Jason Tatum didn't do, but yet did when he had 13 assists in game 1, maybe 18 points, they won. Why? Because other people on the team, T-E-A-M. There's no I in team, but there is a M and E in team. I'm kidding. So you can't just say, okay, if Tatum doesn't get it done, then nothing happens for the Celtics team. That's been absolutely false. I could make an argument that right now, the MVP of the NBA Finals is Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, that doesn't even sound like Steph Curry. Yes, Andrew Wiggins right now is the MVP of the NBA Finals. Now, Steph Curry had one game where he carried everything on his back, but made no three-pointers for the first time in almost 4 years. 200-something games. And guess what? The Warriors won by 10. Which proves the point. Get off the narrative that, hey, if Jason Tatum doesn't score you X amount of points, it's not happening. How about this? If Jason Tatum is not getting at least 9 assists, it's not happening because that's what's been happening. And so I mentioned that, look, Steph Curry 0 for 9 for 3, virtually disappeared the whole game. I said you put Grant Williams on him, it's going to be easier to run through those screens because you got a bigger body who can move quicker at the top of the perimeter, and it worked very well. And here's Coach Ime Udoka on how that really turned out.
Yeah, better job on him. A little more physical there. Switched up the coverage a little bit, but have to do it on the others. And anytime you got Wiggins with 26, Thompson with 21, Peyton and Poole off the bench, 15 and 14. They're kind of making up for some of the things he was doing. So overall, solid job on him. But again, I don't know if it was our defense as much as offensive struggles that hurt us tonight.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole are coming out of the coach's mouth. But yet, the narrative in Boston about the team. Jason Tatum's got to do something. I'd love to be a fly on the wall right now in San Francisco, only because I've seen the conditions of San Francisco. It'd be very easy to be a fly on the wall. Smell the war from here. But I bet you no one's having a conversation saying, oh, gosh, there's no way the Warriors can win if Steph has the same game he had in Game 5. Oh, yeah? I'm still waiting for the Andrew Wiggins answer. Now, in fairness, after Game 4, all hands on deck like the Titanic is going down. You got to stop Steph Curry, and you did. But they've got other people. They got other people. And my question for the Celtics is, where are the other people? Where are you? See, Marcus Smart could have 20 points, and you sit there and say, well, no, he wasn't a factor. But again, when I always say the NBA is not about who's your starting five, it's about when you hear, who comes in the game when the stars go out, and what happens. When Grant Williams comes in the game, you get 3 points. Or Derek White comes in, and you get 1 point. Or Peyton Pritchard comes in, and you don't get any points. What do you do? What do you do? So that's the issue with the Celtics is explain to me what adjustments the Celtics make to win Game 6 in Boston, because I've said this about the Golden State Warriors. Because they are the Warriors who put the $200, $300 price added increase to every ticket when they show up to town, they're built for this. They're a team that's designed to go on the road because prices go up, or historically when they show up to town. They're not shook just because Game 6 is in Boston. And I hate to be the bearer of honest news. I said if the Celtics didn't win Game 5, the series is over, because there's no way. There's no way. And I'd love to be wrong, but is there a scenario where you see that the Celtics, constructed as it is right now, that somebody from off the bench is going to capture the hearts and steal the minds of America by stealing a game in San Francisco? Like, literally, I don't even have to talk about Game 6 if we're going to talk about the Celtics winning the NBA championship. I'd have to talk about Game 7. Because, they got to win 6. So what about 7? I just don't see it. And because of that, knowing that this team probably is running a little bit on empty, I do believe there's an element of Jason Tatum possibly being a little more hurt in that arm from the stinger he suffered in the Heat series. I believe there's more to it. But again, I'm talking about starters. Look, Andrew Wiggins, while yes, a starter, has really been the most effective player for the Warriors every single game this series. Even the game where Draymond Green was yanked out, and that was the storyline. Oh, wow. Steve Kerr had to make a very courageous decision, take out his leader. Yeah, the same leader that had 9 assists and 5 offensive rebounds. So it wasn't all stink 'em up. It wasn't all, it just the appearances. It's summertime, and you start going to fairs and festivals and stuff like that. And one of the best things that people eat is cotton candy. But what they tell you about cotton candy is it looks so big and it looks like it's so tough to eat and gets you full, but it doesn't. It evaporates as soon as it hits your mouth. And that's kind of what the Celtics have been doing. They'll show you a little something, but then when you know they need something, people are mad at Tatum or mad at Brown, but those are the only options they have. There's nobody on the bench. There's no Jordan Poole-esque type player. There's not even an Otto Porter-esque type player that comes off the bench for the Celtics. And that's what it all comes down to. Who comes off and gives you something? Kevon Looney, 17 minutes, 2 points. Okay. They decided to go away from him. Gary Payton II, 15 points. Jordan Poole, 14 points.
And a dagger of a 3.
Yeah, that's 29 points from 2 guys off the bench for the Celtics. Grant Williams, 3. We're not even going to count Luke Cornett because that was garbage time. Naismith had points in garbage time. Derek White, 1 point. Grant Williams, 3 points. 4 to 29. And that's not and other guys scored off the bench for Golden State. Unbelievable. Even the Draymond Green narrative, right? Cotton candy. You're thinking, oh, this guy's not dropping. He's not dropping 15, 20. No. 8. He's quadrupled his total from like a couple games ago. 8, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. The little things. And the Celtics, the little thing would be like, can someone come in and provide some points? That's why Tatum and Brown are so worn out at the end of the game. That's why it seems like other players are just standing there and just like watching them do their thing. Why? Because they can't do the thing. They can't. It's just not happening. Like when you start saying, hey, maybe you use Robert Williams more. Here's without even looking. Okay, I cheat a little bit. Without even looking, Robert Williams doesn't take more than 5 shots in a game. None of them are threes. And he's going to have more rebounds than he probably is going to have, twice as many rebounds as he does shots. All right, open your eyes, KJ. Well, there you go. Robert Williams, 4 for 5, took no threes, had 8 rebounds. So almost twice as many rebounds as he did shots. So you're not running offense through Robert Williams. They know to defend the lob. That's not going to be a real option. The question is, where do you get any anything from anybody? Like, this is why you're seeing this is why I believe the Celtics are running out of juice, either in the third quarter where they get stagnant with the offense because, hey, where the offense is only going to come from, or B, in the fourth quarter when the Warriors have been able to go on runs is because there's only really 2 guys who are taking shots and hitting them for the Celtics. It's a mess. 617-779-7937. Text line is 37937. If the Celtics can win Game 6, how does it happen? Now, if there's a glimmer of hope, I've always been a believer of, the winner of Game 6 is the winner of Game 7. So this might be the one time that changes all of that. It could be. But you may know something or think something that I'm not seeing. The narrative was like, Celtics haven't lost 2 straight in the playoffs. All right, I remember there was a time where like I was asking like females out over a course of a year, and it seemed like they were saying yes. Somebody said no eventually. So I just find it very, very hard to conceptualize. Not only how do the Celtics win Game 6, but how do they even get to a Game 7, which would be a whole nother discussion. It's KJ Late Night WEEI, 617-779-7937. Text line 37937. We'll hear more from the Celtics, discuss more about what Game 6 may look like. But right now it's time for Eighth and the Trend.
The Greg Hill Show, weekdays 6 to 10.
Now, here's what's trending on WEEI.
All right, here's what's trending at WEEI and WEEI.com. The Celtics fell to the Warriors last night, 104-94, in a night when Steph Curry went 0 for 9 from 3. First time, and you were talking about this earlier, you said it was like 207 games, like that's the last time that's happened. It's actually the first time in 133 career playoff games he didn't make a single three.
Think about
wasting
that.
An opportunity to the maximum.
133 playoff games. What, you win 16 to win the championship in one playoff? So the most you might play is 7 times, or the 28 in a playoff. 133.
Yep. Jason Tatum had a team high of 27 points, and Marcus Smart finished right behind him with 20. Meanwhile, the team managed a whopping 18 turnovers when the final buzzer sounded. The Warriors now lead the series 3-2 with Game 6 in Boston Thursday night. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. It's do or die for the Celtics. Red Sox took down the Oakland A's 6-1 off a strong performance by Nick Pivetta, who pitched through 8 innings. J.D. Martinez and Rafael Devers both hit home runs. Devers' home run being a 3-run homer in the fourth to go up 6, and they never looked back. Red Sox match up with the A's again tomorrow night. First pitch is going to be at 7:10 p.m., and you can catch the Red Sox pregame show right here on the Shaw's and Star Market Red Sox Network at 6:10.
Rafi's still watching that home run go over the fence.
And then the Stanley Cup Finals begin tomorrow night at 8 p.m. between the Tampa Bay Lightning and Colorado Avalanche. The Lightning are looking to get a three-peat done and take down the Avalanche, while the Avalanche themselves are actually looking to win their third cup in franchise history.
I feel so bad for the NHL. They're getting
Why is that?
Tampa and Denver. Way to go. Yay, TV markets, Tampa and Denver.
Well, Tampa's a big deal for hockey. At Denver, for the Avalanche, I don't really know. I don't follow hockey a ton, but I know Tampa's a big deal.
Well, I'll put it this way. If you're trying to get new fans there, trust me, it's got to be further than Denver and Tampa.
And then in other hockey news, the Vegas Golden Knights have signed former Bruins head coach Bruins Cassidy, picked up very quickly in their coaching carousel.
Look, McDaniels is out there. Bruce Cassidy's out there. You know what they're setting Vegas to be, right? The disgruntled New England sports fan second home. This is, you see it coming.
Kind of how the Las Vegas Raiders have become New England West.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, better do something. Belichick, Sweeney.
Something like that, right? But that's pretty much it. That's what's trending here at WEEI and WEEI.com.
All right, trending brought to you by Nissan. Nissan's an easier choice than ever. With our exciting and fuel-efficient lineup, now get great offers across our full line. Shop at your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com.